Hello again, a very warm welcome to you all. My name is Deni Kay and I'm here today with a bottle of Shizuoka Prologue W. I'm very excited about this one. I did a review on the Prologue K a little while ago. I scored that a 7 out of 10. I rather enjoyed it. Now the difference is that one, of course, distilled on the ex-Kurosawa still, hence the name Prologue K. Prologue W distilled using their wood fire still. Now, the Prologue K was the first official release out of the distillery. This one here, the second release out of the distillery, but the first using the wood fire still. Now, the difference really out of the bottles, very, very simple. So, in terms of the presentation, the label, very much the same. The only real difference is blue versus red there in terms of the color, and also this one with a silver cap or closure rather than gold. Talking about the actual closure, screw cap, sturdy enough. I do think it is a very simple presentation, but I do like it. Lovely textured paper. So for me, the presentation is a lovely presentation. Nothing really too fancy, but still looks nice. Now, nose, absolutely fantastic. I think I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself because normally I like to talk through the actual whiskey itself, but what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go through nose and taste. 55.5%. I'll add some water, then I'll talk a little bit about this particular release. Try to keep it short and sharp as I normally try to do. Now, really sweet, much sweeter on the nose than the Prologue K. There's a lot of fruits that come through here with this one, and those fruits are stewed apples, overripe pears, also some dried fruits there. Dried fruit really though, mainly for me, some dried apricot. I'm also getting some cookie dough, which is absolutely fantastic with this, with a good whack of vanilla through that cookie dough as well. There's some cooking spices or some baking spices and also some underlying smoke, which is really complementary. Just a touch of that. Now, 55.5%, there's a tiny bit of a prick. So at the moment, it could be the alcohol, but I think that's quite simply just coming from the pepper and ginger spice that's also on the nose there as well. Spice, forefront, ginger, pepper, a really good dose of pepper, and then comes through the sweetness. Toffee apple, dried apricots, yellow flesh, peaches, fantastic. I mentioned the apples and the pears, absolutely present there as well, along also with some orange. Now, it is creamy, a little bit of milk chocolate there, and then it's a lengthy finish, right? So the mouthfeel is fantastic. I'm getting that spice that comes through. Sweet spice, but there's also some ginger. Call it a candied ginger with some pepper that lingers through there, but underlying sweetness, underlying smoke. So a rather lovely whiskey, right? 55.5%. I'm gonna add a little bit of water to this, and what I will talk about is, now this was released in 2021. It spent 3 years in first fill American casks. Now, bottled at 55.5%, natural color, non-chill filtered. This was released only for Japan. There were 5,000 bottles that were released. So obviously, if you're outside of Japan, likely you'll be paying some sort of secondary price for this. So without really going through and going on a bit of a tangent on launch prices, secondary prices, and everything along those lines, there is really only one way that the price will go for this, and that is up, right? And very much the same with the Prologue K, where it came out, and obviously the price from there just goes up, being from a distillery that has quite a bit of hype about it. And I can tell you what, trying both of the releases, the hype is real because the whiskey is absolutely fantastic, right? So I've added a little bit of water to this now. Creamy nose, toffee apple, immediately caramel, vanilla, cookie dough, absolutely fantastic, still there for me. And I can tell you what, there is no real heat, prick, or even spice or anything that comes through on the nose there with a little bit of water that's been added. It's really rounded it out, and it is absolutely fantastic. Softer spice in the arrival than there was before. Earlier felt like a bit of a bigger whack of spice. Now that really has, I guess you could say, tamed down or softened a little bit with the water. And it really is allowing apple, pear, peach, a little bit of toffee apple that comes through there as well. A big whack of vanilla, also with some milk chocolate. The finish is still a medium to long finish. It is really, really nice. Now, I would score this a 7 out of 10, which is what I scored the Prologue K. However, I would actually say that this one is marginally better for me than the Prologue K. So if I had to split the two, I would actually go the W over the K. But I think they are an absolutely fantastic whiskey. This is a really, really lovely whiskey. So really for me, exciting to see what the future holds for Shizuoka Distillery, because I think that they're absolutely worth keeping an eye on, and some fantastic things to come out of the distillery. Hopefully, we don't have to wait too much longer. Thank you very much once again for the time you've taken to watch. Cheers to you. Till next time.